Welcome back. Let's talk about self-concept. So from Noel's perspective, self-concept has to do with independence. And as children, we're dependent learners, which means we're relying on our teachers and direct instruction for our knowledge. Noel said that as we grew and matured and as we become adults, that our self-concept should push us towards self-directed learning. And what self-directed learning equates to is being independent in our learning. For our students as adult learners, we often expect them to come into the classroom as independent adults and to already know what is expected and what is accepted in a learning environment. But for many individuals in adult learning situations, this isn't always the case. Each student comes into the classroom with a different range of experiences, and learning for them may have looked very different from our own educational experience. So we still see adults with what may be considered childlike tendencies or needs. And due to their learning experiences or lack of experiences, they may still need to rely more heavily on a teacher-centered classroom environment. And those that aren't seeing that, maybe for the first time, they can become very overwhelmed because this paradigm for them has shifted from a child's classroom to an adult's classroom. And we have to remember that a classroom can put our learners, at no matter what stage or level, into a very vulnerable position. School can be intimidating, and it's our job to make that transition, to help them make that transition from feeling like that child in the classroom to feeling like an adult who has some control over their learning and their future in the classroom. Even for us teachers who have had years of education and perhaps even years of experience leading others in their learning, we can also feel vulnerable in the classroom. Self-concept is more than just about independence. Self-concept is what we believe about ourselves. And this has a huge impact on our students and ourselves. We're not unlike our students. We need to stop seeing students as separate from us. We just have a different experience with education. We need to maintain the perspective that we're not all that different from our students. We're still students too that are learning. We all have insecurities, and there are situations that make us all feel insecure. What's most important is creating a psychologically safe learning environment, and that starts with us in a few ways. First, we need to feel confident about what we're teaching and guiding our students through. We need to see our students as unique individuals, and we need to recognize the value of their experiences and what they already come into the classroom knowing. We also need to see them as ourselves. If we can be gracious with our students for their humanness, more times than not with adult learners, you can expect the same from them. They need to know it's okay to be human, but we need to remember it's okay to be human. They need to remember that it's okay to make mistakes, and as teachers, we forget that it's okay for us too. Education and even teaching is about learning and being better every day. As a teacher of adults, you're more of a facilitator. You're in more of a coaching position rather than that teacher-centered position in a child's classroom. But it's important for you to remember, especially in an adult learning situation, you and your students are a team. And more times than not, if you tell them what you need from them so that you can better understand them and what they need, more times than not, they can tell you what they need. They may not be able to articulate it as well as what it would be like if two educators were sitting and talking. But if you listen, you can hear what they need. So let's talk about ways to encourage healthy development of self-concept and independence. First of all, treat them with respect and help them develop the skills to be respectful towards others, even when there's a disagreement. Facilitate self-praise. Teach them to be proud of when they meet a goal or complete a challenging task that they didn't believe that they could. Promote individual responsibility for choices. Even when you fail, there's still a lesson to be learned, and that's something else that we teachers tend to forget about ourselves. Help your students set realistic goals. Emphasize that positive independence comes from a sense of I can do this. And establish that safe learning environment for them and you. your 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 psyche will appreciate it too. Also, don't forget to be gracious with yourself. Sometimes through our training and the modeling of other teachers that we may look up to, we tend to develop a mask that we wear in the classroom. Don't forget to be a real life person with your students. They'll appreciate it. And you'll connect with them in ways that they need your mentorship the most. So here's your challenge. Find a student that needs support to develop a positive self-concept and become more independent. Choose a strategy to begin their journey with. And then look how their needs change as their independence grow and modify from there. See you next time.